You know that feeling? The one that hits you like a freight train, knocking the wind out of you so hard you're left gasping? That's exactly what happened the day I decided to chase my dream of becoming a professional gamer. My family? They saw it as a joke, a foolish fantasy that would ruin me. They told me I was wasting my life, that I'd never amount to anything, that I was an embarrassment to everything they stood for. I remember sitting in that cramped living room, my laptop glowing in the dark, trembling with a mix of defiance and despair, hearing my father's voice thunder, "You're never going to make it. Just give up already." It was brutal, the kind of rejection that scars deep and leaves a permanent ache in your soul. But I couldn't let their words drown out the voice inside me, the one whispering that this was my path, and I had to fight for it. So I did. I poured myself into every game, every strategy, every practice session, even as they ridiculed me behind my back or dismissed me outright. I remember nights where I'd sit alone, tears streaming down my face, questioning whether I was just chasing an impossible fantasy. But somewhere inside, a stubborn spark refused to die. That relentless pursuit became my obsession. I knew I wasn't just playing for myself anymore. I was fighting for my dignity. To prove that a girl from a small town, someone they called naive or deluded, could rise above their cynicism and become something real. I entered tournaments. No matter how brutal the competition or how condescending the comments from strangers on the internet, I fought through every setback, every loss, every moment where I wanted to just give up. And slowly, the world started noticing. Years passed. My name began to ripple through the esports community, then explode onto the global stage. I became a champion, not just in the game, but in the hearts and minds of people who believed in the power of perseverance. But more than that, I channeled my success into something bigger, a community initiative to empower young girls in gaming, to show them that their dreams aren't ridiculous, that they're valid, that they can be trailblazers too. And here's the thing, despite all the triumphs, I knew the real test would come when I went back home. Because I still remembered the sting of their ridicule. I knew they hadn't seen the real me, not until I showed them what I'd become. So, I returned to that small town, walking through the streets that once felt so suffocating, now with a sense of purpose. I had transformed barren lands into thriving ecosystems, metaphorically and in a way, literally. I invested in local projects, created green spaces, and built a legacy of growth. But the most powerful moment was yet to come. I told my family I was coming home for a visit, but I kept it quiet about what I'd achieved. I wanted to see their raw reactions. I wanted to see if they still saw me as that ridiculous kid they mocked, or if maybe, just maybe, they'd see a different person. The day I arrived, I could feel the tension in the air. My father looked up from his newspaper, his eyes narrowing. My mother's smile was tight, uncertain. My siblings exchanged nervous glances. As I stepped into the living room, I was greeted with wary silence. I didn't say much at first. Instead, I pulled out my phone and played a short video I'd recorded. Clips of me competing, winning, coaching young girls, planting trees, and building community centers. The room fell silent. Then the impossible happened. My father's jaw tightened and his eyes welled with tears. My mother's lips trembled, fighting back her own emotion. My siblings looked stunned, like they'd seen a ghost or maybe a stranger. And I stood there, feeling every ounce of the years of pain, rejection, and doubt wash over me, replaced by a fierce, unshakable sense of pride. "It's you," my father finally whispered, voice thick. "That's you?" I nodded. "Yes, that's me. The girl you told everyone was wasting her time. The girl you said was an embarrassment. I'm the girl who refused to listen to you can't, because I knew I could, because I knew I had to." They looked at the footage again, this time with different eyes. My father's shoulders sagged, and I saw the shame they'd carried all those years. They'd dismissed my dreams as foolishness, but now they saw the fruits of that foolishness. My success, my impact, my transformation. "Why didn't you tell us?" My mother asked softly, tears streaming down her face. "Because I wanted to show you," I replied honestly. "Not with words, but with actions. I wanted you to see that when you believe in yourself and refuse to let others define you, you can change the world and yourself." In that moment, something shifted. My family, who once mocked me for dreaming big, now looked at me with a mixture of awe and regret. They saw not just my accomplishments, but the resilience that fueled them, the stubborn refusal to give up, no matter how many times I was told I'd fail. And here's the truth I've learned, something that hits harder than any trophy or accolade. Success isn't just about winning in a game or making money. It's about proving to yourself that you're stronger than the doubts, the ridicule, the setbacks. It's about transforming pain into purpose, rejection into redemption, and silence into a chorus of support. Today, I stand proud, not just because I won, but because I refuse to be broken by their words. I turned their ridicule into a catalyst for change. And I hope, more than anything, that my story inspires others to pursue their dreams, no matter how ridiculous they might seem, no matter who laughs or dismisses. Because in the end, the real victory isn't just standing on a podium. It's standing tall in the face of everything trying to tear you down. It's proving that your worth isn't defined by others' opinions, but by the unyielding fire within you. And I know now, without a shadow of a doubt, that I am enough. I always was.